Welcome back to Seoul. So in today's video, you'll be coming along with me with some of the anime stores that I discovered. So in this first one, I went to AK Plaza, which is it's a mall, but on the 5th floor in particular, it has a lot of pretty much just all anime stores on the whole floor. So it's really funny, like they call it like Key Adult, which is essentially like toys for adults essentially, but like anime merch in particular. But here there's like I don't remember how many anime stores there was, but there was several. There was a Ichiban Kuji, which is essentially where they sell like lottery items, so usually like more exclusive stuff. And at this time it was they were celebrating the 1000th One Piece episode, so that's why you'll see a lot of One Piece stuff. And then there was another store, I don't remember the name of it, but it was just all secondhand merchandise, so people can rent out display cases to like sell stuff from their own personal collection that they don't want anymore, and usually obviously it's in very new or good condition. And then of course the Animate store is over here. There was also like an anime theme cafe. I didn't go to it because it really wasn't an anime that I was interested in, so I didn't really show that. And then of course there was like a Japanese restaurant on this floor. But going to the Animate store, I don't usually buy a lot just because it's obviously merchandise of all types of anime, so a variety of animes, including like J-pop music, J-bands, all that stuff, Vocaloids obviously. Usually when I go to anime stores, I just gravitate towards the Hatsune Miku section, and when I went, they didn't have any Vocaloid items for me. They did have a few Miku figures, but at this point I had already bought a lot, and at this point I had to think more about my luggage space because I didn't have a lot of space for more stuff. And also at this point I pretty much didn't want to spend any more because obviously I have to think about when I go back home. So they also had a whole BL section, obviously the comics, the manga, and all that. They had like a specific, all the signs, and then here going to like the BL section, which I thought was really funny, seeing female presenting looking people, and I'm just like, yep, that's our crowd. Yeah, you won't really see a lot of these sorts of stores in the United States, so even though I didn't plan on buying anything, it's really nice to just go just to see what's popular. And in Korea, obviously they have their own trends and popular stuff, which was really surprising to see Mystic Messenger. In the States, Mystic Messenger isn't nearly as popular as how it was a few years ago, but in South Korea, in Seoul, obviously Mystic Messenger is a Korean game, so it was really nice seeing that. I was honestly tempted to buy some Mystic Messenger merch, but again I had to think about the space in my luggage. They also had another cafe on this floor. There was like 2 cafes, and one of them was themed to like a BL, so you'll see like different like male looking characters. And I did sit down in the cafe. It was really chill. It was just basically like themed drinks of some of the characters, but it really wasn't like anything too special. It wasn't like a maid cafe or anything like that. It was just like very chill cafe, and then you can just buy drinks that were themed to some of the characters, and then you can also just buy some of the merch, and of course take cute pictures of the merch, and then, you know, faint over the beautiful men that these 2D men. So what I thought was really cool was like on the windows there was a lot of like One Piece stuff, so you'll see like statues and like big like billboard signs of One Piece stuff, which was amazing to see. At this point I had already caught up One Piece, and then actually, so there used to be a One Piece cafe in Seoul, but it closed down I believe in 2019. So now they have this One Piece store called Play, One Piece Play in Hongdae, which they basically sell all of the One Piece merch that they probably would have sold in the cafe. And then they also have statues that you can take pictures of, which was really cool. So since I did catch up in One Piece in 2021, a lot of pretty much most of the episodes were very fresh in my mind, so it was kind of good timing that I just caught up to One Piece and then stumbling onto this One Piece store. It was amazing because I can buy merch of any of the One Piece characters that I really like. And then this was on a different day, but I stumbled onto another anime store. It was a lot smaller than any of the ones. It was a lot smaller than the Animate store, but they had a lot more Hatsune Miku stuff. Like, you'll see a lot of figures here. Usually the smaller anime stores definitely have a variety and more rare stuff, in my opinion, than like more of the mainstream anime stores or bookstores. So it was really nice that you can just walk around in Hongdae or wherever and you can stumble upon on something. Like, this is probably like the third or fourth anime store that I stumble upon, and I was really surprised because I never really took like Japanese animation, anime or manga. Like, it did not used to be this big in South Korea. It's definitely within the past like 10 years probably they kind of just boomed more in South Korea, in my opinion. Obviously, I would go to Japan if I were to think of anime and stuff. I wouldn't think of South Korea, but they had a lot. I was pleasantly surprised, and even one of my friends was surprised how the otaku culture in South Korea is also growing. So another store that I spent many hours in was the Gundam Base. So the Gundam Base is exactly what it sounds like, where you can buy Gunpla. They did sell a few like anime stuff, but it's mostly a Gunpla store. So like, if you like Gundam and like mechs and all that, this is literally the store to go. This was the second Gundam Base store that I went to. This was, I believe, on the basement level of the AK Plaza, if I remember correctly. And then there was another one in Yongsan, which is the iPark, in the iPark mall, and that one was smaller, but this one was a lot bigger, so it was really cool. My sister is into Gunpla and mechs, like, she likes building them, so it was really mainly for her that I went here. We were on a video call for like 4 hours we were on video call for like 4 hours, 2 hours in each store, because she wanted to see everything, obviously, and she wanted to get stuff that she likes. So I ended up shipping a lot of her stuff, actually, because there was no way it was going to fit in my luggage. So I was really surprised seeing this, so definitely recommend this place if you like mechs and Gundam, stuff like that. I'm not really into it, but it was really cool to see everything. They did have a few, like I said, they did have like other stuff. They did have like some anime merch stuff, but it's primarily mechs and Gundam. Hence the name, the Gundam Base. This is literally the Gundam Base.